Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining this workshop of the Day of the Dead that we are offering at UNAM Los Angeles. But what is UNAM? We are a university from Mexico that happens to have an office here in Los Angeles, California, and we offer different cultural activities and workshops both for adults and kids. So welcome kids to this workshop about the Day of the Dead. Are you familiar with this tradition? I hope you are. But today we're going to talk a little bit about more that, in case you are not. Let me go ahead and share my screen, and here you can see Day of the Dead 2020. It's called Day of the Dead, however, it is a celebration of life. So what will we do during these few minutes? Okay, we'll talk about the Day of the Dead, of course. Then we'll draw a calaverita. Do you guys know what a calaverita is? You'll find out in our art section with Easy. And then we will write a letter to a loved one who is no longer with us or to a famous person that has already unfortunately passed away and that we would like to have some sort of contact with. We'll explain more later. Contact through the written word, of course. And then here's a phrase that I'd like to share with you before continuing because I love the meaning. It says, "The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time." So what is the Day of the Dead? More than a celebration of death, as I said before, it is a celebration of life. This party takes place on November 1st and November 2nd on each year. It is one of the most representative festivities of Mexican culture and has been declared an intangible cultural heritage according to UNESCO. And it is not only it is not really a cause of or for sadness. It is, on the contrary, a happy date because we really remember our loved ones, we celebrate them, and we are filled with color, tradition, and different dishes during these dates. We'll see. Here are some examples. As you can see on your left, it is the pan de muerto. Have you guys tried this? If not, please look for it. Its flavor is like orangey, a little bit of orange. It can also have vanilla. It really depends on the baker. However, it is a really nice dessert. It is typical of Mexico on this Day of the Dead. And then on the right side, we have ofrendas or altares, which are a set of an altar of different things that to get put together constitute or make an altar. This is an ofrenda, that is an offering that we give to our loved ones that are no longer with us. And then it can be filled with different things like food, candles, flowers, and other elements. For instance, some people add the food that this person used to love when alive, and some come add candles to lighten up the way back to the earth, because during this celebration we believe our family relatives come back to us and celebrate with us. And now let's make some art. I'm sure you all love making art, drawing. So our next section is going to be with Isi, who is a graphic designer, a professional graphic designer, who will teach you guys how to create a calaverita. So see you soon. Enjoy this art section.
My name is Isela. I'm here with UNAM LA, and I want to show you today how to draw a sugar skull. So you're going to need some markers, color markers, watercolors, especially a black marker, very important, a pencil, eraser. What I did here is that I already traced the outline and some of the minor details of my skull, and I did it with pencil. So whatever I don't like, I erase, and it's easy to be fixed. If not, there is always a way to fix things. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna trace a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. Skulls are not symmetrical. And I'm not gonna finish it. I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna leave about this opening, because right here is where I'm gonna draw the teeth. So from here, from this edge, a little above the final, where I ended my line, I'm gonna do a little curved line like this. And now for the teeth, I'm gonna draw kind of like a plate, like a bowl. So I'm gonna do one edge of it here, and then the other edge is gonna be a straight line coming down that curved line that we drew before. And then I'm just gonna put them together with a curved line like this. And now for the teeth, I'm gonna draw straight lines, 3 straight lines coming down like this. Now these are important to do from the beginning because that way you can see where is the middle of your face, where you're gonna place your mouth, your nose and your eyes. So right above the teeth, you're gonna do the nose, and the nose is an upside down heart. So we're gonna draw a heart that is upside down. We're gonna create a little shadow just to give it a little bit more depth. Make the appearance that it's hollow. From the nose, we're gonna do the eyes, and we already know that since the nose is here, the eyes are gonna be, one of each side. For that, I'm gonna draw 2 circles. Again, they don't have to be perfect. So we can always come back and fix that. I'm gonna do the same shadow so it matches our nose. Maybe this one's a little bit longer. And then just fill it in. Sharpies work great for this because they're very saturated. Now, sugar skulls came to be when the pre-Hispanics had this custom of setting up real skulls to honor their death. When the Spaniards came to Mexico, then the custom got changed and there were no longer real skulls, but sugar skulls. And we're thankful for that. So now we're gonna go in and start decorating. So bring out your colors, and this is the fun part. We're gonna pick, you can either do an outline and then color in, or you can color and then outline. That is up to you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do flowers around the eyes. The thing with Dia de los Muertos skulls is that they're very personal. Each one represents a person that we've known, that we love, or even ourselves. So that's why they're so, they're so beautiful, because, we want to represent the beauty of that person. And they're very, custom made for that specific person. All right, so I'm gonna do that purple outline, and then I'm gonna fill in with this pink. Now you can always also use other materials like watercolors, soft pastels, which I'm gonna use for the background. Also, when the sugar skulls came to be, they were mixed. The whole custom was mixed with Spanish traditions. So that's why the calaveritas have Spanish elements. You will see these type of things in Spanish architecture. And then, of course, as time went by and things were modernized, now we also find little hearts. In Mexico, you find sugar skulls in the street markets, and people either eat them. There's also the chocolate version, and there's also a chance for you to put your name on the one that you pick. I used to love that when I was a kid. Go and pick the one that I liked the most and then have my name written on the forehead of the skull. And then that was not only for decoration, but also as a treat. Now, the more colorful your skull is, the more attractive it will be. And remember, you can do whatever you think will be best, whatever it will represent you or the skull that you're, whoever you're trying to portray. So you can do all kinds of different motifs. You can do, like I said, anything from little hearts, curlicues like I did before, little dots. And there is really no rules for this. Now you can copy what I am doing, or you can decide however you want to decorate your skull. I want to show you real quick how I want to do the background. So I'm not going to completely finish it. I will just show you the end result at the end. I just want to finish this real quick, and then I'll show you the background, which I want to do with soft pastels. All right, so we're gonna create a table for our skull. And for that, we're gonna stretch a line on each side, like so. And I like to go and use different shades. You can use chalk for this. So just if you have two types of blues, you can start with your darkest tone on the edges. And then of course at the edge of the table as well. And then the lighter ones in the center. That will create an effect that your object in the center, it's been highlighted. Now what's fun about this is that you can just go in with your finger and just blend it out. So cool. If you need a little bit more, you can always come in and do a little bit more. I'm going to use a contrasting color for the wall. But like I said before, this is your skull. The skull represents a person, so this can be as unique as you are. I'm going to finish it and then I'll show you in a bit. I wish you all a very beautiful and happy Dia de los Muertos, and have a lot of fun with your loved ones that are coming back from the land of the dead. Thank you.
That was amazing, Izzy. Thank you so much for sharing your talent with us. And kids, I'm sure your drawings and your art pieces are amazing too. So please share them with us to the same email address I provided you a while ago, which is info, that is info @unamla.org. We'd love to share them with our community in our social media channels. So please go ahead and share. But guess what? This workshop is not yet done. We're gonna write. I hope you guys like to write. It's a really fun activity, and this is very touching and special since we are going to write a letter to a deceased relative or to a famous person who's no longer with us and that we would like to tell something in a way. Some ideas to start with: we can introduce ourselves. We can say what our name is, our age, where we live, what we're doing on this day, and what we'd like to find out about this specific person. It can be an author. For instance, I love British author Jane Austen. Oof, I would love to write to her and ask her so many questions. I'm sure you guys have your own idols and your own family members, like grandparents, probably an uncle, an aunt, that unfortunately are no longer here. You can always establish this contact through the power of words. So go ahead and write this. You can do it in English, you can do it in Spanish, because we are a bilingual institution. You can do whatever that talks to your heart, and then we'd love to share these stories as well in our social media channels. So please, if you feel like it, go ahead and share that with us. Don't forget to include your name and age. And that's all for now. Look at this beautiful image of Day of the Dead cemetery. You know, we have these flowers called cempasúchil, and then we have candles and different elements. It's really a beautiful and moving tradition. So thank you so much for joining today. I hope you guys have had fun with the drawing, in the art section, with the writing, and getting to know a little bit more about this Day of the Dead. See you soon. Thank you so much. Have a great celebration.